I've called this episode Tinian, A Date with History, and we're in the Northern Mariana Islands. And I've really been looking forward to this. A day trip with a 15-minute flight from Saipan Airport. And we're heading off in one of these 6-seater Piper Cherokees. As we cross over to Tinian, the abandoned Northfield Air Base comes into view. Northfield was the busiest and largest airport in the world during 1945, and it will be the main focus of our visit today. Right, it's time to go exploring. Half a day, and here we go. We're on a mission to find Northfield. This dual carriage road that leads to Northfield is known as Broadway. It's just not dual carriageway all the way though. Alright, the first World War II place that we see is this abandoned Japanese communications centre. Apparently this was converted into a slaughterhouse after the war, but no longer in use. And a bit further on, this old Japanese shrine. This sacred Shinto site is dedicated to the sun. Japan began administering Tinian after World War I, so there's lots of evidence of their time on the island. Broadway eventually ends at a roundabout where there's an American memorial. A very simple memorial, but with a poignant message. Broadway gives way to Boston Post Road, where the road gets rustic, and offers a welcome diversion to a blowhole. Okay, here we go. One of the main reasons we came here. To see the atomic bomb pits. I'd never realised before that Tinian Island was the launching point for the atomic bomb attacks against Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan in 1945. Here I examine a replica of the first atomic bomb, nicknamed Little Boy. Tinian is around 1,500 miles south of Tokyo. The proximity to Japan is one reason Tinian was strategically important to the Americans in World War II. A round-trip flight was around 12 hours from here. And here's the first bomb pit. A B-29 manoeuvred over this bomb-loading pit, collected Little Boy, and then taxied to Runway Able. The plane, named the Enola Gay after the pilot's mother, eventually took off at 2:45 a.m. on 6th of August 1945. Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima at 8:15 a.m. local time. Here's a replica of the second atomic bomb and its associated bomb pit. This one dropped on Nagasaki 3 days later. This one was nicknamed Fat Man. And the B-29 that undertook this mission was named the Boxcar. The first atomic mission to Hiroshima was undertaken under a cloud of secrecy. Of the 12 crew on board the Enola Gay, only one, the pilot, was fully briefed and fully aware of the nature of the mission prior to takeoff. Others had suspicions, which were confirmed once en route. The secret was out when the Boxcar undertook its mission, with all crew members in the know. So, now off to find Northfield's Runway Able, where these planes took off from. Not too far from here. Here's 10 of the 12 Enola Gay crew. And this is what it must have sounded for them on Runway Able on takeoff. Okay, that was very sobering and a sad part of history. But we're going to move right on now and explore other abandoned buildings around this area. And we start off here at a Japanese power plant. Very quiet and peaceful today. We basically had the whole place to ourselves. It's a bit of a walk off the road to see the Japanese underground fuel depot. After a bit of a walk, you can see it at the end there. And take a look at what's inside. Hopefully these containers are not full of fuel anymore. This is the Japanese Air Administration Building, which was heavily bombed during the Battle of Tinian. It was the headquarters of the Japanese Navy's first air fleet. Not safe to go inside, so we're told. So we'll just keep our distance. From the Air Administration Building, we pan around to see a large open area with memorials scattered around the perimeter, and zoom in on the Flying Command Tower. Also some air raid shelters here. Not sure how many people they could fit in here. It does look like a bit of a tight squeeze. Heading away from Northfield now, and we see an old Japanese tank, a rental car, and this old pillbox by the beach. And Chulu Beach is nice. So let's check out some more beaches. We're down in the southern part of Tinian now, and this is a small but picturesque little beach close to the main town. With a nifty little set of stairs to get down to it. Looks like the tide's in. I reckon this is picture postcard stuff. And there's definitely a bit more beach going on here. So like Saipan, Tinian also has a suicide cliff. During the Battle of Tinian, many hundreds of Japanese citizens and soldiers jumped to their deaths here. "2,000 Okinawans also perished during the war. There's a very moving memorial here remembering them, together with a number of other more personal memorials. The area is peaceful and perfect for quiet reflection." Okay, we're going to finish off with a quick look around the main town of San Jose. Starting off with the legend of this bloke, Chief Targa. He's said to have built his house on 15 latte stone pillars that he put into place with his bare hands. And here they are, at the House of Targa. How these massive stones were actually quarried, transported and set in place by the ancient Chamorros remains a mystery. Maybe earthquakes knocked them over. Either way, only one of the original 15 still stands tall. It's a nice place to visit, but not advisable for anyone to lift the stones themselves. Our last stop before we head back to the airport is to check out the quaint-looking local Catholic church. And guess who's riding in the cockpit on the way back?